Hi Aquarius, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your January 2021 love reading. Hope you guys are having a good holiday season and a happy new year, and also happy early birthday to those of you who celebrate in January. And thank you to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. As far as person readings go, I'm actually going to start them up again sometime in January, just not sure of the exact date yet. So when I make an update to that, I'll be sure to post it in the community section of the channel. As far as what we have in front of us, it's bridging the gap spread, and the way it works is the cards on the left side represent your energy toward the connection with your main love interest. Cards on the right side represent their energy toward the connection. These are the past energies, present energies, future energies. Once we get through all those, we'll actually pull some oracle cards with some additional insight. That's where the bridging the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, and on the right side we have the Tarot of Sexual Magic. Also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as your energy and the cards on the right as theirs. If you feel like it should be the other way around, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, past energy on your side, we have the Ten of Arrows, which is Gemini energy, and the Princess of Arrows, which is the equivalent of the Page of Swords. So with this Ten of Arrows in this deck, it makes me usually think of an ending, but in a more positive sense, meaning that the 9 arrows up there to me represent that 9 of Swords energy, being stuck in your head, not sure which way to go. And then that 1 arrow, as we could see, is separate from that, moving in a different direction and actually towards the cards on their side. So I feel like this is saying for a lot of you, you might have really thought about what to say to this person for a long time. And it looks like you gained some confidence as to, at least building up the confidence to communicate to this person. But I feel like you still might have been nervous about it. Especially, page energies in general tend to represent a bit of a nervous energy, although authentic. And then I see the butterflies in this card too, and that's what starts to stand out to me when I see this card now. So it could just be saying that this is someone that, you had the feelings for, might have just really thought it over for a long time because you were a bit nervous about actually communicating with them. Past energy on their side seems quite a bit different. We have the Eight of Wands, which is Sagittarius energy. So to me, I feel like they were definitely pretty confident toward you. And, it might have been a lot of passionate communication. And maybe that might have caught you off guard a little bit. Their approach might have been more forward than you were used to. Although sometimes Aquarius can be very forward and blunt themselves. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing there. So, for example, it might have been during when Mars was retrograde in your third house communication. So maybe that was making you feel a little bit more blocked when it came to communicating with this person. But yeah, that's why I see there pretty fiery energy on their side. So I feel like they were definitely the ones more open and expressive in the past. Present energy on your side, we have Grace. So this is actually the equivalent of the Star card, which is the major arcana card for Aquarius. So on the one hand, this could just be saying that you guys are feeling a lot more confident now. It might have, you might have gone through a rough stretch, actually. Because that Ten of Arrows energy, like we said, even though it's more positive in this deck, even just coming out at 9 of Arrows energy, that's a bit of a rough energy to be in. And then seeing this here, where it looks like the angelic figure is pulling her out of the fire. So it could just be saying you guys could have been going through a bit of a rough stretch, but now you're feeling a bit more confident and sure of yourselves. And then we see the 2 birds there too, which to me represents more communication. So, you could just be moving in the right direction with this connection now. All right, and present energy on their side, we have the 4 of Wands. So this is Aries energy here. So already 2 fiery energies, but to me this represents them. Again, I feel like this is confidence and communication coming from them because, like I mentioned before, Aries is your third house communication. So to me, this is just saying that they were open and expressive, probably playful, playful, passionate, but probably underneath the surface you might have felt that they wanted something more serious than just, this type of energy as well. That's what I'm picking up on primarily there, but it definitely looks like they were obviously into you and still are. And in the future position, we have the 2 of Staves. So this is actually Aries energy here. So quite a bit of fiery energy going on, because even the Star card, like I said, in your position, while that's air energy, we see the fire there. But future energy 2 of Staves represents actually taking action now. So I feel like while a lot of this, like I said, might have been lived through your head and not necessarily too sure of what to say to this person, looks like you're building that confidence in the present, and then in the future position, you might actually be ready to take some action toward this person. Obviously, it looks like they've already been on that page, but that's what I'm seeing there for the majority of you. For a small percentage of you, this could actually be you guys moving away from the connection, and I'll tell you why that could be the case, but I definitely feel it's for a much smaller percentage of you. Just wanted to mention that before we get to their card. Future energy on their side, we have the King of Chalices. So similar to what I was saying as far as, well, this is Scorpio energy for one, but like I was saying here, looking at these cards, as far as I felt like there was that passion with this person, but also underneath the surface, they probably wanted something more serious too. So to me, that's what that King of Chalices energy can be representing here, which is to say that now, okay, they're stepping it up to another level and saying, hey, you know, this is all fun and all that, but, you know, let's get in a formal committed relationship, for example. Especially because for you guys, Scorpio energy represents your 10th house of career and social status. So when you think of social status, we think about single versus in a relationship in that regard, you know? So I feel like this is them kind of wanting to lock it down with you guys. The bottom of the deck on your side, we have tradition. So this is actually the major arcana card for Taurus energy, which for you guys is your 4th house. So it could just be saying that you guys feel really at home with this person, you know, feel really comfortable. Although, like I said in the past, it definitely looks like you just were a bit nervous around them, and maybe because their approach was so confident, that might have thrown you off guard. And like I said, you guys could have been going through some rough stuff yourselves. You had a lot of energy in your 12th house, you know, some of that's moving into your sign now, so even that could alleviate some of that pressure. But yeah, that's why I see there. And bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Ace of Swords. So, you know, again, clear communication, honest communication. But now that I have this up here, I wanted to mention why I said for a very small percentage of you that two of staves could represent you guys moving away from the connection. And again, like I said, I feel like it's definitely a small percentage of you. But the reason I say that is because between this and the King of Chalices, you might find that this person could be a bit controlling, and generally speaking, that doesn't vibe too well with Aquarius energy. So that's why I was saying for a small percentage of you, 2 of staves could represent you guys being like, nope, this person's controlling them out. But I feel it's definitely for a small percentage of you. Like I said, more than anything, I feel like this is this person just kind of revealing that, hey, you know, I'm in this playful, confident attitude that I bring forward to you, but at the same time, just so you know, I am looking towards something more serious, you know. So that's primarily what I'm feeling for the majority of you, is what that energy is pointing to. But we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. First, we'll see if we get anything from Aqua Moonlight deck here. I did pre-shuffle this deck before we start recording. And basically, what I'm looking for is jumpers, as far as unspoken messages from you to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while and nothing's coming up, I'll just move on to the next deck. But sometimes we could get some additional messages here, which could be helpful. Oh, got one there. All right, and next we'll see if we get any from them to you. Almost had one there. Okay, there we go. So on your side, okay, we have intensity. All right. There we go. Intensity. It says, the feelings I have for you overwhelm me, so I run away to process them. So interesting energy there. I could definitely see that being exactly what you guys were going through in the past, because like I was saying, I was feeling with this 10 of arrows that those 9 arrows separated from that 1 to me represented that nervous energy, right? You see the 1 sword there, almost like the Ace of Arrows. And then with the Princess of Arrows energy, like I said, what stands out to me with that card is the butterflies there. So it's like that nervousness about communicating to this person, you know? Whereas for them, like I said, it seems like they were totally confident. So that might have just thrown you off a little bit too, like, oh, I don't know, you know? So That's what I see there. So that does make sense. I feel like you guys naturally will be coming out of that. That's what I'm seeing there. And you might even get some kind of, guidance, like some kind of synchronicities or something that point you in a direction to make you feel a bit more confident toward the connection. That could be what that's pointing to there. But yeah, I can see that. And then on their side, we have fantasy. I wish I could. So, not the most in depth message, but at the same time, it does show that clearly this person definitely has attraction to you, which we have pretty much seen throughout the spread. So, hopefully that resonated with you guys. And next, we'll check out the Wisdom of the Oracle deck. Same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck too, but here we'll just be looking for one card with general advice, and we'll wrap up. All right, nothing's coming up, so I'll give it a few more shuffles. In worst case, I'll just put the deck down and we'll pull a random card. Oh, got one there, actually. Okay. So we got the Fate. There's the artwork, and the number is 17. Yeah, interesting. I was like, I think that's the same number as the star card, and it is. So could definitely be a connection to that. But let's see what it says. Okay, it says fate, karma, acceptance that there are things you cannot change, and knowing what those things are. The Oracle's message says the Serenity prayer sums up the meaning of this card. God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. There are things in life you'll never have control over. The conditions brought on by the evolution of the collective, by nature, and by your past experiences may be fated, preordained by spirit for a greater purpose you cannot understand in this lifetime. It may not be in your cards to understand why certain events occurred, but you can accept the mystery and work with what those events and your current circumstances have to teach you. This is the wisdom contained in the Serenity Prayer. So interesting there, as far as it seems like a bit of a heavier message than I was feeling from this spread overall. But for some of you that can point to, like I was saying, with looking at those cards there, maybe you guys were coming out of a bit of a rough stretch in your lives. So it could just be saying that, pointing to that energy, really more so than this connection directly. But hopefully that resonated with you guys either way. The relationship message says, other people are who they are. You can't change them. The challenge is to accept them as they are and not try to make them otherwise to suit you. This is a time to look at how you attempt to mold people to fit your view of how they should be, so you can remain in a relationship and avoid discomfort. What if who they are, and whatever is happening between you and them in this situation, is perfect from the perspective of spirit? Now is the time to accept what you cannot change, even if it means that you honor yourself, spirit, and the other person by moving on. Love unconditionally, for each of us is on our own journey, and we cannot direct that of another. Be aware that this relationship is indeed fated, and you are meant to evolve into a better version of yourself as a result. So interesting message there as far as, well, I could say where it fits in both categories. For that small percentage of you where I was saying that for some of you this might represent you guys realizing, okay, this person's way too controlling, I'm out of here. Obviously we could see how that could play out. But also could just be saying, like I was saying, for those of you where you totally do want to be with this person, but maybe their approach in the past might have just been a bit much for you. Could just be saying that, you might have to trust that and feel it out and just, with time, it looks like you guys would definitely get used to that energy. So overall, for the vast majority of you, I still see this as a very positive connection that you guys are going to be happy with. And for those of you who are, like I said, if you feel like, oh, this person's way too controlling, I'm out of here, hopefully that message resonated with you guys as well. But we'll wrap up there. Once again, hope you guys are having a good holiday season and a happy new year. And also a happy early birthday to those of you celebrating January. And I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.